you have a lot of data and a lot of research. One recent series that you've started putting out is like the Good at Sex series, which is walking guys through a lot of, ways to get laid and women's sexual preferences and whatnot. And I'd like to talk about, some general lessons from that. But before I do, I have some very specific questions that occurred to me while I was reading it. We won't give too much away because it's obviously behind a paywall, so we don't want to talk too extensively about it. But in part 6 of the series, you have some data where you ask women to rank various sexual acts on a scale from 0 to 100 about how much they'll like it. And then you ask men to predict how much they think women will like it, right? So in some sense, you're asking like, how well calibrated are men towards women's sexual preferences in bed? This is obviously talking about like hetero couples, etc. So when you look at this plot, it's interesting to look at, and it's interesting to look at the things where men are less calibrated. But if you zoom out, the plot axes in terms of men's calibration is actually between like plus and minus 10% in terms of their prediction, or I guess how far they are off from how, how women rank the sexual thing. This strikes me actually as men being like quite calibrated on average. Like I was kind of shocked by the fact that it's within plus or minus 10 percentage points for all these things. And so, was this surprising to you? Like, what's going on here?
No, you're absolutely correct.
So why aren't men, I guess given this, like, why aren't men better in bed maybe is the right question to ask here? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, so one is like what men predict that women want. And you're right that it's very rare that it goes outside of like roughly 10%. Although it's like, it is also kind of meaningful to, like, if 100% of women like a thing, but people predict only 90% of women like it, that's a little bit more meaningful than like 40 versus 60. I don't know, like bell curves or whatever. But I think the more interesting thing is a little bit like less what men predicted, more what men do. Like, I think this is why women are maybe less satisfied, because it's to some degree, it's not that men don't know what women want. It's that men aren't acting on it. Like a very easy example is like men being hard during sex. Men know that women want this, but men sometimes do not have control over being able to do this. So this could lead to the disparity in why women are really upset. But some of them are men like don't know that women want it to the degree that women say that they want it. And this is reflected in the actions. Like in the marketplace of sex acts, we see that women report that men are really not that dominant, aggressive as much as they would like to be. And to be clear, so this is a little bit bimodal. A lot of women really don't want men to be like this at all. But overall, women are like, man, I would love to be like handled roughly a bit. And then men are like, oh, women just... sorry, not men. The women, but then they're like, but men just aren't doing this as much as we would prefer they do.
Maybe we're in like a good world in the sense that men have a decent idea of what women want, and now we just have to encourage men to actually do those things. Like they're not doing it out of either like fear or ability instead of not knowing what's going on, which is perhaps arguably better than them not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on some subtypes. Like overall, I think men do typical mind fallacy a little bit. Like if you're a guy and you get aroused by seeing a bunch of like hot women stripping and then being really horny, you're like, oh, well, a woman must be aroused by like a bunch of like hot men stripping. I think I don't understand why men don't read romance novels. Like if I were a girl who wanted to be good at sex, I would go watch like the kind of porn that the men I was interested were watching. But like men just don't go read romance novels. That's just absolutely insane.
The training data is there. The men,
it really is.
What's going on here? And then did you come up with all the actual sexual acts that you ask about? Did you come up with all of these? Like, and I'm hoping the head in the toilet one was just like to make sure everyone's calibrated, or like what's going on here? Is there a subtype that likes head in the toilet?
To make sure everyone was calibrated, but also that did happen to me once. I shoved my head in the toilet. God. It's not my kink, but like I'm glad he tried it. I'm like pro experimentation. Yeah. The one interesting thing is that men who watch porn tend to be better at predicting what women like during sex, which is very counter to what most people the standard narratives.
Yeah, because isn't there a conversation, I don't know how true this is, that like porn is giving a lot of men unrealistic standards about what to expect in bed? Have you heard this story in the culture? And I guess this data kind of cuts against this?
Yeah. I mean, my guess is that porn is giving men unrealistic expectations about how they're supposed to behave during sex. Like, you're supposed to have like incredible stamina and like a hard cock that never falters and just be like pounding. I mean, to be fair, I think like they're not properly weighting cunnilingus. like that does seem kind of wrong. I'm not saying that there aren't any misinformation coming. I'm just saying that overall, men who watch porn seem to. But the thing is, like, men who watch porn tend to prefer more violent sex, which is what women like. So if a guy watches porn, he's like more willing to update towards roughness and thus actually satisfy women. And again, women are different. I'm not saying all women prefer rough. Some women really hate it. So it's like a high risk, high reward thing.
Yeah. And if you ask your partner which of the two modes they're in, does that kind of ruin the impact? Like, should it be not talked about and just done, or should it be a discussion beforehand?
I think it depends quite a lot on the kind of person. If you're really sexually repressed, like for me, when I was 21, I would not have been willing to admit that I was into it because I was so ashamed. Now you should talk to me about it. So it depends a lot on, like, you have to sort of feel out the lady, be like, you should definitely try to talk about it. But generally people this is one of the few areas where women are actually bimodal. Like, you're not going to see a lot of ladies in the middle with, like, only a few who extremely like it and only a few who don't like it at all. It's like either you hate it or you love it.